usually on the weekend, I go outside and I'll get myself like an Indian curry. Or, you know, sometimes when I'm not like, you know, feeling it, what I do is I just like, you know, get it delivered. So I'll get a takeaway. And I was like, you know what, I'm really like craving one. And usually I don't mind getting a local chippy or like, you know, just like making something from like, you know, the frozen foods that I've got in my freezer. But I was like, you know what, today I'm gonna like make sure that I utilise this time that I've got three in my hands. So I spoke with one of my mates, Indian Pakistani mates, and he said to me that why don't you make something called dal, which is like lentils. So what he did was he lended me something and he was like, look, this is the lentils. So I looked at him, like kind of like, you know what, I mean, this is lentils. And he goes like, yeah, it is. And I go, but I thought this is a jar of coffee. How come there's lentils in there? And he was like, no, this is the way, like, you know, we kind of like are like in our like Indian. Yeah. But anyways, he lent it to me, so I'm like kind of grateful to him for like lending it to me. So today I'm going to show you guys my technique of like cooking like the dal. Well, I'm just going to like follow like the recipe that he gave to me, and like, let's see how it goes, you know. And I'm going to like give my verdict in the end of it. So yeah. Alright, firstly I've got like some dal over here which I soaked into like, you know, 1 cup of water, and I washed it about 3 times. Now I'll give it a little bit of a mix and it had a bit of like starch, you know, showing that. But yeah, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to first and foremost like put it inside the pot. So yeah, just look at this. Very simple, I'm not guessing. Like, don't judge me because it's the first time I'm doing it. I might have to use a bit of my hands over here. I'm not used to having it with like the fish and chips, but yeah, using my hands here. Okay, yeah, it's going in well. You know what, I'm a novice, so you know, just don't judge me. Like, it's the first time I'm doing it, but once I put my mind to things, you know, I usually become good at it. So yeah.
Where did you get that pot from? Quite an interesting.
Well, one day I was down at Southall, you know, and I remember once my mate, we was trying to go to Minorca once, and like we couldn't go there, so he said, oh, why don't we go do a trip to Marrakesh? Oh, I was like, it's a bit adventurous for us, but I opted along. Now when I went there was something called tagine, and when I went to Southall, it kind of reminded me of that tagine that I saw in Morocco. So I was like, yeah, let me just get this, because I like the way that they were cooking the chicken that time when I went there on my trip to Marrakesh. So yeah, okay, that's all there, that's all done in there, that's all put inside of that. Oh, I'm going to top it up with some water from the kettle. So I'm going to use the kettle to like, you know, turn the well. I don't put the kettle on just for like for the tea, but I'm also doing it for this now. I'm going to add like half an onion, which I've been chopped up, 3 cloves of garlic. So let me just do that. That's that, okay. And I'm going to, well, let me just put all of it in. Okay, oh, that's kind of hot. The water's like, you know, bouncing off. Okay, I've done that. Now, I've got like 2 green chilies. Well, I'm going to find that hot and spicy. Usually I'm like, you know, having like ketchup, but okay, that's what my mate said to me. That's what makes the dal. And then I've got half a cup of tomatoes. And that's that. Okay. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like some level teaspoon of like, well, this isn't a normal like table salt that you kind of get with the fish and chips. This is like Himalayan salt. It's like pinkish colour. So let me show you. So I'm going to get a bit of like, you don't want to have a full, but just a bit level like that. And I'm going to like just start putting it in there. Yeah, that's it. Do the same amount, same quantity. Just put it just a bit level, and like, yeah, just like, yeah, that's it. That's it. You know what that is. And then the last one is, this is like, well, this is turmeric, but my mate, he calls it haldi, and he's also written it here for me as well. So the same amount, like, yeah, well, yeah, that's it. Just a little bit more. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Great. It's all done. Now I've got to give it a bit of a mix. Now I'm going to give it a mix, you know. I've got this like wooden brown spoon that I'm going to use, and like, yeah, well, let's see how it goes. So it's mixing, it's getting all yellowy, it's all watery at the moment. Oh, I'm feeling a bit excited. I don't know what to expect though, because I've never even tried that dal. Usually I'm going to like the local chippy, getting a bit of that, you know, fish and chips. It's like, yeah, Sundays, isn't it? So get that with the HP sauce and whatnot. Well, finally, there's one, finally I found a British thing over here. Like, everywhere I'm looking, I saw like a banana in this kitchen earlier, and it was like from France. But yeah, it's the first British thing, so thank goodness for that. Now this is cow rapeseed oil, so I'm gonna put like, well, let me just estimate it, and by the way, this is for the tadka. Okay. Yeah, that's that. I think that'll be enough, and like, we're gonna let that, like, you know, warm up for a bit. Now once the oil's a bit hot, so I'm going to put like, well, these are some of these like little like brambles. I think they're like mustard seeds if I'm not mistaken. So I'm going to put like, again, like a little teaspoon of it inside of it. And that's going to start popping. Now as soon as this like starts popping, then I'll start putting in more things into it. Just give it a bit of a go. I think, you know, it's like beginning to like pop. A little bit here and there. It's like, yeah, that's it. Now, a little bit's happening, so I'm going to put that here on the side. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of this stuff. So I've got some onions, some green chilies and some garlic. I'm going to put it in to this. Oh, this is where it gets interesting. And the secret is to, like, you know, put it in sections, I think. And like, wait for the onions to get a bit golden brown. You know what, like this part of the world where this type of food comes from, the interesting thing is that there's like it's a bit more technical. Like, I kind of appreciate it now that I'm kind of doing this, because usually all I'm doing is I'm going to, like, you know, Iceland's and like getting like ready meals, and all I've got to do is like put it in the microwave and, like, you know, let it warm up. But this, it like makes me appreciate like what these people go through when they're cooking this. So yeah, like, and I feel like, you know, I'm utilising my time for once whilst being at home. And that's also boiling up the dough on either side whilst the tadka's getting fried up. Now it's important that, you know, you have a little look at, you know, the dough, and from the look of it, it looks a bit mushy now. And I think that it's prepared. I think it's ready. So now what I'm going to do to, like, you know, end off, this is coriander powder, and I'm going to, like, you know, put like 1 teaspoon of that. Again, level it, and, like, you know, that's it. Now next one is called jeera powder. I think they call it cumin seeds. So, oh, 1 second. Should just use like a spoon inside. That's in there. And last but not least, I think it's going to be a bit difficult with the taste buds, because, like, you know, I ain't used like hot and spicy, but this is red chili powder. I'm going to put just a bit, a quarter of it. You know, well, that seems like 1/3 maybe. Well, a little more ain't going to, like, do any harm. Alright, so I'm just checking with a spoon if, like, the dough's all, like, you know, integrated well and, like, cooked well, and I think that's all good to go now. I think I put a little bit more water than I should have, and that's, like, you know, increased the time of, like, cooking it, but nevertheless I think we're done now. So what I'm going to do, I've got a tadka here which has been, like, nicely, you know, fried up. I said I'm a novice, so, right, just bear with me. Alright, so that's going in, well, I haven't cooked in 10 years, you know. That's what, like, some people who are, like, interested to know, like, how often I cook. I don't really cook often. It's been like a good decade now. So, but this is the first time cooking dal. So let's see how I fare with my first attempt. So that's in. So yeah, we got the tadka inside. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of this coriander in. Well, actually, first before that, put this. It's called kasuri methi. Yeah. So I'm going to put a little bit of this. I'm going to sprinkle it in. Yeah, that's it. Let's go in. Look at that, it looks lovely. Look at that, fantastic. Exceptional, look at that. So I'll mix that a bit. And then I'm just gonna, like, you know, put a bit of this, like, coriander in there. Not all of it, because, like, later on I'm gonna use it for the garnish. So yeah, this is it, and look at that, absolutely. Look at that, that's lovely now. Yeah, that's all ready now, yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, magnificent. So yeah, and that's that. That's like how you cook a dal.